Hey everybody, welcome back to Elevator Pitch. My name is Joe Ennis, and today I am speaking with Bola Audena. Bola is one of the founders of MBA Growth Partners, which is a company that helps your company kind of figure out its different processes and functions and make sure that they can be done efficiently and correctly. Bola and her team help create a team and almost a plan for your internal staff of your company so that they can better run the day-to-day operations. They help specifically with what you need and don't help what you don't need, which is, my way of doing things as well. I highly recommend, looking for businesses that do that so that you're not overpaying for what you might not need. But I really like the episode. Bola has a lot of really important things to say about why you need to have good internal functions in your business, why your company needs to know, the most efficient way to run and the best way to run. This is super important for business owners who are looking to exit eventually. You need to make sure that your business is going to still run without you there and run correctly, as well as it's important for your team to know, the best way to do things. So Bola and her team help companies do that. I really like the episode. Remember, if you're new here, click that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube or listening on any audio platform, as well as leave a comment and let us know kind of what you think of the episode. Thanks again for listening. Enjoy the episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to Elevator Pitch. My name is Joe Ennis, and today I am speaking with Bola Audena. Bola, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Joe. Happy to be here.
So, Bola, tell us a little bit about what you and MBA Growth Partners do.
Sure. So I am a consultant, management consultant, and what that means is we work with business owners, business executives, principals of any organization, helping them think about their strategy. A lot of times they'll have that strategy established. Other times we work with them to actually put in place a strategy for the business, particularly if they're looking to grow, expand. A lot of our clients come to us during an inflection point. So whatever is causing that need that they want to implement, that's what we help them establish as a strategy. And then, we also then roll up our sleeves and do the implementation of that strategy. So I'm a business strategy consultant as well as a business operations consultant. So MBA Growth Partners, while I've been a consultant all of my career, MBA Growth Partners is 2.5 years old, and we work specifically within the small, medium-sized enterprise space, both within the for-profit and nonprofit, doing the same thing, business strategy and operations.
That's awesome. That's great. Bola, I've interviewed a lot of marketers on this show. I know a lot of marketers. I know that you know a lot of marketers. What are some of the biggest issues that you see in your current field, and what are some of the things that you and your business are trying to tackle? Obviously, marketers try and deal with a lot of different things, but are there any specifics that you guys saw when you began starting this and wanted to tackle?
Yes. So I think so just to be clear, we're not marketers.
Sure.
We work across all aspects of the organization. So marketing is a component of what we think about.
Gotcha.
But really, and your question really drives at the heart of what we do. What a lot of clients do not do is put systems and processes in place. So a lot of times, you have a strategy about what you want to do. And we can even use marketing as an example. So let's say a business wants to grow into certain markets, market to certain people. A lot of times we just start executing. There's no clear plan in place. There's no clear process. There's no understanding for, the right resources to use, the right systems, the right people. And then also, what are the processes? How do I, when I get up every day, what should I be doing in my business? And then what are the metrics? How shall I be measuring for success? And without that, you're really just flailing in the wind, and it makes it very difficult for you to see, forward projection. So I would say, the main thing that a lot of our clients or people that we see in business in general don't do is the lack of processes and systems.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, just to put my dad hat on real quick. Like, my dad is an exit strategist and an exit planner, and he is constantly talking about the issue that he sees a lot of times going into businesses that come to him looking to exit or to sell, of just not having any structure, not having any plan or process when it comes to their team. And it makes it much, much harder for them to not only leave the business, but also to sell. So, what you do, you kind of have a somewhat special place in my heart, because my dad deals with it all the time and has told me how important it is. So that's awesome that you're able to be that person for others, to kind of go in there and make sure that they have all those plans in place, so that, if they do ever want to sell or whatever in the future, it's a lot easier for them, or turn it over to more team members, or bring more team members on and make sure that they know what they're doing. That's super, super beneficial. That's awesome.
Right. And I think, a lot of times people will say, that's the difference between sort of an asset, when you have systems, processes in place, you're actually building an asset versus, maybe a lifestyle business, something that kind of just feeds you at the moment, but is not something you can easily transition and expand on or give to someone else. So
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bola, what, there are, again, in terms of consultants, and or people that are going into help processes, or marketers, if we want to again put it in those terms, there are a lot of different groups that do what you do. I mean, my dad to a degree kind of does that. He's focused more on the end product, but I know that you guys are going in to help people figure out exactly what they're doing in the moment, and make sure that everything's sorted the way it's supposed to, and organized the way it should be. What would you say sets MBA Growth Partners apart from another team that, does something similar to you guys?
Great question. I think what really sets us apart is the fact that we really are an extension of your team. So a lot of times consultants will come in and they're coming into an advisory role or a coaching role, meaning they're either telling you, hey, you may want to consider doing that, or maybe they're cheering you along. Yes, we can do the play-by-play. You can get on a call with someone. Yes, you should hire this person. However, we definitely do that, right? Like, we're providing advice. We're also coaching along the way, but also we're getting on the field and, we're playing the game right there with you. So we're rolling up our sleeves. So when we are making recommendations for what you might do, we're also, addressing how might you do that, right? So our team members come in, we're already coming up with a strategy. We know what the strategy is. It's that much easier for us to actually, get into the weeds, roll our sleeves up, become an extension of your team, and help you execute. And I think why that's important is because we're not just identifying another problem within your organization for you to solve. We're saying we recognize this is a problem that you want to address. We agree that it should be addressed. We talk about how you're best positioned to address it, and then we go help you get it done. So
gotcha. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I know, I try to do the same thing. A lot of people come to me and they're like, hey, we want a podcast. Can you just tell us how to do it? And I, obviously, this to a degree, I'm very hands-on. I want to get involved and make sure that they're doing it right and just do it myself. And I kind of become that extension of their team that, is there for the things they need them for and not for the things they don't. But I really appreciate it that you guys actually take that extra step, not only to tell them what they should be doing, but then to actually help them do it and not just leave them in the dust once you've, told them what to do. That's really great. One thing that
Joe, I do want to say, I think that is so key. And I love that, you do that for your clients. I know we've been a client of yours as well. And I was able to experience just the magic of having someone execute for you. I think it's so important because, you can have an idea, but when someone is standing shoulder to shoulder with you saying, no, that's actually a really great idea and we can get it done. And these are the ways to do it. It's not as complicated as you think. I can help you roll it out and we can be out there in less than a week, that kind of just creates so much space in one's mind
Yeah.
versus kind of being bogged down with an idea that you've been rolling around trying to figure out how to do by yourself or within your small team for the past 6 months. So
Yeah.
I completely agree. You kind of just made things so much easier when we decided to launch our
Well,
podcast.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
mean, and then the other thing too that I want to say is like, I've, it's so much more reassuring when like I've worked with people who have basically been like, you got to do this, and then like left it at that. It's so much more reassuring and kind of, I don't know if empowering is the word, when you know that someone's like, you got to do this and I'm going to help you do it. Then
Yes.
when someone is like, you got to do this, like good luck, and to get to the next point. Cause like you'll know this. I mean, business owners have so much going on anyways that like things like processes and making sure that things are organized and stuff is not necessarily at the top of their list of things that they need to do. But once you explain to them how important it is, they freak out and they're like, oh my gosh, I have so much that I need to do. But being able to come alongside them and basically be like, hey, I'll do it for you, or I'll get it started at least and work with your team to do it. That's huge. That's really big. I have a friend who's going through kind of the same process with their company. They kind of hired her to do that, and she's realizing just how much of a giant, daunting task it is to get those things kind of organized and everything. So I appreciate you for being willing not to just consult people, but to make sure that they are walked through the whole process.
And the thing is, just quickly, people come into business wanting to do that thing that gets them excited, right? Not necessarily to put processes in place, not necessarily to run the business. So, what we do is really free people to do what gets them excited. You want to go out, if you're a salesperson, go sell why your business is amazing, go market your business, go talk about this product, go execute and coach or whatever it is that you're doing, and leave the rest to people who actually get excited about the operations of it, but with your vision and idea in mind.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a win-win, when
Absolutely.
you're free to run a business, but actually do the part that you really enjoy doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I hate to bring it back to myself for a second, but yeah, we do the exact same thing. I mean, we're very much like, we don't want people to take the time to do all this stuff. Like, they have the creative idea and they want to run with it, but we know that it's not what's making them money, and we know that it's not necessarily what they want to focus on all day. So to be able to take that off their plate is, it's really also fulfilling for, I bet, for you guys and for me, when you see that, kind of succeed for them and them come back and feel, just so grateful that you were able to help them. It's really fulfilling in that way too. Bola, why should people care about, I mean, obviously I know this answer, but let's say there's people listening and they're still listening and they're like, well, why do I need to worry about my internal team processes and why I need to get things organized? I might be at the top as a business owner and I think it's running well, whatever. Why is this stuff important? Why should people maybe take a step back and look at the big picture of how their business is being run, and then potentially think about working with a team like you guys?
That's a great question. And the funny thing is, I think we don't realize how much we sort of live our lives based on processes and systems, just in general, on a day-to-day basis. It's systems and processes that allows for organizations to be built, for societies to be created, for any real advancement to be made. Otherwise, there's chaos. People are just doing whatever it is they want to do, and you're spinning your wheels. So, from the minute that we are born, we start preparing our children for kindergarten and we put them into the school system, right? So they're learning, but in a systematized way. And there's a process every day for what they need to go through to actually obtain that knowledge, right? You have first period, second period is the same teacher. There are various types of systems and processes that we hop into every single time of the year. There's certain times that we do tax,
just the idea of
holidays,
weekends. The idea of weekends
right?
is a process
for your business. So, I mean, we are naturally process-driven beings because that's what allows us to actually amass any sort of assets, wealth, or make progress in any real direction. And for whatever reason, we go into business and, especially as startups or business people, we forget the importance of it and get so excited to finally be able to maybe do something and advance an idea. But really, the only way to do it is by pulling back and stepping back into that process. So creating it, putting the systems in place and making sure that it's repeatable, sustainable, and scalable.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I really like, specifically the sustainable part, because I know, from experience how without processes and getting really excited to do whatever it is you want to do, and, hopefully it's to help other people and help other businesses, it's very easy to get very overwhelmed quickly if you don't have processes in place. And then it becomes this kind of thing where if you don't put those processes in place, then you're eventually going to get overwhelmed and won't be able to do what you want to do anymore because you got all this other mess to worry about. So, like to listeners, it feels like it might not necessarily be that important sometimes, or it feels like you might be able to get away without it. But I can say from experience, I know you can, Bola, that like eventually it's going to catch up with you and you're going to have to stop what you love doing to worry about this kind of stuff. So working with people like Bola's team is awesome because then you don't necessarily have to stop. You can just let her do it and you can keep doing everything that you want to do to, help others. So that's awesome. That's great. So Bola, you kind of hit it on at the beginning. Thank you again. I have a few questions left here. You kind of hit it on it at the beginning, but who are your ideal clients? Do you like working with entrepreneurs, business owners, specific sizes of business? Who are your ideal clients?
Right. So our ideal clients are folks who we don't have to convince to really build processes, systems in order to be able to accomplish their goals. So they are frustrated people. They've tried it the other way, right? There's chaos, there's a mess.
Yeah.
They are at an inflection point, as I mentioned. They need to grow. Their teams are doing all sorts of things all over the place, and they need integration, coordination. So these are folks necessarily who are who've already bought into the idea that something has to change, right? Like we're not having to convince them to do it any other way. But also, generally speaking, they are at a size where it makes sense for us to come in. So we do work with startups, pre-revenue, entrepreneurs and what have you. But for the most part, we typically like to start with maybe when you have at least 5 people within your organization, and now you need to really start to put systems, processes in place, and making sure that everyone is doing what they should be doing, and you as the executive or business owner can go out and continue to bring the business in, resting assured that things are good back home. So, but yeah, at least 5 people within your organization is an ideal time to bring in someone who can help you plan out and put systems in place so that as you scale and grow, it's that system is flexible enough to really grow with you.
So anyways, just pointing back to kind of what I was talking about before, but thank you again for coming on. Bola, 2 more questions. If there are people listening that want to potentially get some things in place, some strategies in place, some organization, but they don't know where to start, what is like one tip that potentially you could give them to start? Like something easy, maybe they're just getting to 5 employees, or maybe they're just starting out like today and they want to make sure that they're prepared. Are there any steps that they can take to make sure that, they have everything scheduled, or any tips you can give in that area?
Yes. So I think a great way to start, especially if you're the business owner and let's say you're bringing someone in for the first time, is kind of just walk through. If you're going to do something repeatedly, figure out a way to capture it on some sort of paper, on video, do a checklist, whatever it is, right? So if someone is coming in and you want to teach them how to log into your accounting system so that they can then keep track of it, you can easily do a video recording. We're on Zoom right now, right? Yeah. And you can do a quick video recording where you actually get into that accounting system, the step by step, I'm going to go here and then I'm going to click on this and I'll do this. I'll save some items into this folder. And at the very least, because you're doing it once, or maybe even while they're with you, you're doing it, you haven't made any additional time to do it, but you're capturing it. And that's really the important thing. If you can just capture that process by video, you can then easily give it to someone else, maybe someone else on your team. So create a checklist, and then maybe even they can create a process document and SOPs, whatever it is, right? But at the very least, you as the principal have demonstrated and shown at least once how you prefer for this to be done. You've captured it, and now others can run with it and then start to put that as a system for your organization.
That's an amazing idea. That's great advice. I very much like that idea. Especially, that's extremely easy to do. Like now, it's so easy. It's very practical. You could do it pretty much like for free in a few minutes. But that's a great idea. Bola, thank you again. Please, you have the floor. Promote away. Let people know how they can get in touch with you, how they can work with you guys. Let them know where they can find you. All that jazz. You have the floor. Take as much time as you need.
Oh, great. Well, number one, thank you so much for having me. This is
absolutely
great.
It's been a pleasure.
And you can reach us at on our website, mbagrowthpartners.com. But we're on LinkedIn. You can reach me personally on LinkedIn or through our business, MBA Growth Partners, and also on all social media platforms. Me, Bola Audena, on all of them, as well as MBA Growth Partners on all social media platforms. So feel free to email us, LinkedIn, we're everywhere that you are.
Awesome. And listeners, as always, or viewers, all the links to Bola Audena are in the description down below, and MBA Growth Partners. Make sure you get in touch with them. I'm sure Bola would just love to talk to you. Even if you have any questions at all, please reach out to her. She would love to talk to you. Bola, thank you again so much for coming on today. You gave some great advice, and hopefully people listen to this and immediately start worrying about how organized they actually are, because it's very important. And you gave some great tips and some great advice on why they should worry about it. So thank you again so much.
Sure thing. Thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing you guys as you email or reach out to us.
Hey, I want to thank Bola one more time for coming on. It was an amazing episode. Remember, if you are new here, click that subscribe button. You can actually click the button above my head if you're watching on YouTube, or you can click one of these previous videos over here and watch another one. Thank you again. Remember, subscribe, like the video, like the podcast. Have a good day.